Hello and welcome to another Tea and Tarot Tuesday. I'm just going to start off with a chant for peace. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu, Sarvesham shantir bhavatu, Sarvesham purnam bhavatu, Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, Sarvesham swastir bhavatu, Sarvesham shantir bhavatu, Sarvesham purnam bhavatu, Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, Sarvesham swastir bhavatu, Sarvesham shantir bhavatu, Sarvesham purnam bhavatu, Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for joining me again today for Tea and Tarot Tuesday. In light of the eclipse season, I thought, why not use the Dancing in the Dark Tarot for today? I like to use this one for shadow work, for getting called out a little bit more on things that we don't necessarily want to face. And the eclipse season is really the time to face those shadows and befriend them. This is our opportunity to get to know ourselves a little bit deeper and get to know our shadow selves a little bit deeper, and see the similarities that we have with our shadow selves. So I will start off with pulling a single card for the collective and see where we go from there. But first, I will have a sip of tea. First sip of the day. Seeing kind of a mountainous terrain in my cup here, with the skin forming on top, with a sun, I think it is, just kind of exploding. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but that's what I see, is the sun, and then there's the mountains. So that's neat. That's neat. So the sunshine is here to help us illuminate what we need to see on this journey. Ooh, that is a good cup. Spicy. All right. May I please have a single card for the collective that is watching this video today? All right. So I'm starting off with the King of Cups, which, what a prosperous card to begin with. And the description here says, a wise man who can detach from his emotions. He understands subconscious depths but prefers to be on the edge of relationships. So detaching from the emotions, I think that is really speaking to the eclipse season. And, you know, we see all this kind of almost chaos going on around him. I'm seeing, you know, with all these splashes, and this fish in particular, what is that, trout? I wonder what trout means. I wonder what the significance of a trout is. I'll look that up and add it in the description. But I'm seeing, you know, all of these kind of relationships trying to reach him, but he's just like, no, I'm strong, I'm in my sovereignty, you can't touch this. Which is really, really good, but I think it can come as a warning not to detach too far as well, because, you know, we talk about this a lot. We're not meant to be alone as humans. We are meant to have a support system around us. So no matter how strong you are, and that is very important to have strength and hold your power for yourself. I think it's a reminder to not fully detach from your kingdom, from its people. So whatever that means to you, whether that's your community, your family, I think it's important to... I'm feeling very called out right now. So, and then I have the Ace of Swords. The gift of clarity, a new idea is divinely inspired. Grasp the sword of truth and vision. Our key meanings are fresh ideas, intelligence, communication, a more exalted point of view. So that is, with this guy, that's telling me to surrender a little bit. And with these flames, I'm getting a similar feeling with the flames and the splashes of community, of gathering, of not forcing yourself to be so alone. And I'm also seeing that mountainous terrain back here. It's a very dark mountains, but then the sword is so bright, it's so full of fire. So really it is there to illuminate your path. It's there to show you, point out those new fresh ideas and views. So I'm gonna ask, do we have any guidance? Could you please give us some guidance on what those new ideas, new points of view might be? Because we're talking about newness, we're talking about not being alone, we're talking about, being a part of the community, as well as standing in our sovereignty. So What does that new, what's the newness in there? What does it look like? And I have the Eight of Cups, which in itself has an eclipse. Isn't that ironic? And there's this person who, again, is on this journey, right? They've got their torch, their staff, very bright staff. It could be a torch, and they're heading to the mountains, to this dark mountain that we saw in the last card. They have a cloak of protection. They have that intuitive nature to them. Your connections, and this is saying your connections haven't lived up to your hopes. Though your heart is heavy, it is time to change direction. And the key meanings here are retreat, a solitary choice, facing the unknown. With a little bit of sadness and regret even, because your community has let you down. So this to me is saying that no matter where I go in my solitude, in my sovereignty, in my power, no matter which direction I choose to go in, I have the ability to create that new community. It's very sad that maybe this last round of people in your life have let you down. And they've been forced out of your life in some way or another. Whether that's been you pushing them out, whether that's been, oh, suddenly they have to move further away from you, whether that's moving on from this life. But the universe has actively been pushing these people out of your path, clearing your path, so you can have the opportunity to be alone for a little while and make choices for your solitude, make choices for what's best for your inner strength. And that's giving you an opportunity to lead yourself to a brand new community. And it doesn't have to be, I'm sensing that it's not so much that, okay, these are my people and these are going to be my people forever, you know? I'm really getting a sense of building communities wherever you go, as a king does. A king doesn't lose, I don't feel like loses that drive, that desire to build community, no matter where they go, whether the previous one has fallen apart or not. Like they know they have a certain power, they know they have certain wisdom and and love that is meant to be shared with as many collectives as possible. So now what I'm seeing with all three of these cards put together is that, okay, this didn't work out so much. Let's say this community drowned, because that's what I'm seeing with the water. This trout is some news. Really want to look into that. But you know, that desire for almost a righteous power is still within them, because that's a part of who they are. So along their journey, as they travel, as they explore new areas that are potentially very dark, as they explore these dark areas and these darker collectives that seem to be going through their own host of crap, they are there to say, hey, you know what? Utilize me for the moment. Here are my strengths. Here are what I have to give to you, to your community, to this collective. And that is maybe not permanent, but I have what you need right now and I can help you. So I'm going to help you. Let me do that. Excuse me. So it's interesting that it's going from, you know, it's coming from a place of solitude, of aloneness and yeah, just being a single lone person. But then, you know, going into all of these different places, and that's what I'm seeing with these flames, as these different collectives, and filling different cups, illuminating different paths for all of these collectives. Almost because you've gone through those same sort of emotions, those same feelings, similar trials. So you are there to guide them, and help them build their community a little bit stronger. So that's very cool. That's very cool. To kind of listen to that king, that power inside you. That's very neat. What a journey. So then I'll ask, you know, what are some of the areas that we can shed light on for these collectives that we're I guess meant to help and be a part of for maybe a brief period, maybe a long time, but whether it's for a good time, whether it's for a long time, what is our purpose? What is the guidance that we can share with this current collective that we are being called to? Oof, gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And we've got the star. And our card says, celestial patterns guide our destiny. Everything is part of the universal whole. Your highest aspirations harmonize with the music of the cosmos. Key meanings are hope, faith, connection, destiny, eternal mysteries. So if I'm thinking of this as what is my purpose of entering this collective as a person that seems to have my shit together? What could be my potential gift to them? Their gift to me is that sense of community. This is very much a two-way street. Even if I'm walking into there thinking I am in power, knowing that I have so much to give and I have so much to share, even with that attitude of strength and solitude, their gift to me is that community for that particular time. And the solidarity we can find in that community. So my gift to them could be looking at everything from a more universal point of view, sharing my perspectives of how we truly are all connected. There is not, even if there is one star that seems to be shining brighter at that moment, each of these stars have their own light, they have their own strength, they have their own visions. And it's each of those different perspectives, it's each of those different visions that I think bring magic into that community, because no matter how hard I can never see something exactly as someone else sees it. We have different eyes, we have different perspectives, right? So I think this is really a way to be able to kind of feed. Hear me out, okay? I feel like this is kind of a way to feed each of these different perspectives into this giant ball of light, so we can kind of all have an opportunity to see it together. I hope that makes sense. For me, I'm seeing it in a very personal light, and I'm able to put together kind of which community this is pointing towards at this moment for myself. So it's making sense, but I really feel that this is a very common theme right now for a lot of light workers, where you are kind of you're being looked at as this ethereal being, and you are. But that's not something that you're able to see yourself as. But all of these lights that are looking at you, they see this, wow. They see this guide. They see this crown. They see this powerful being. Whereas you are like, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. I'm just here. What are you talking about? But what you see is all of these lights. This is what you see. And you are suddenly being given the opportunity, not suddenly, this isn't a new thing for you, really, because it's happened many times in many different collectives, and now we're starting to see that, okay, this is a theme. I'm not really someone maybe that stays in a certain group for largely extended periods of time, but you are able to see, okay, you know, this is what this person has, this is what this person has, this is what light they bring, and it's almost more illuminated because of the light that you're bringing, right? We're bouncing off of each other now, so there's this really beautiful flow of ideas and creativity, and it's helping you do the light work that you do a little clearer. So yeah, I think really you existing in that collective is really the whole purpose of it for the moment, to be able to bounce ideas off of each other, so everyone can kind of use you as a mirror almost, so they can see each other's perspectives. That's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah. Is there anything else? I'm going to pull one more card and just see if there's anything else that we are meant to take away from this particular Tea and Tarot Tuesday about, oh yeah, there's one more. Okay. Look at this gangster. 4 of Pentacles. Okay. So without even looking into anything, without analyzing anything else, I'm just finding it. I feel like this is the same dude, right? That's the same guy. Why wouldn't it be? It's the same deck. But he's gone from this king to a little gangster. So what does this gangster have to say? He's reminding us that obsession with material gain won't bring contentment. It leads to a state of mind where nothing is ever enough. So with all of this, all of these powerful, illuminating, reflective cards, don't get power hungry, is what I'm getting from this. Understand that at the end of the day, you are human. There is divine within all of us. There is God within all of us. But at the end of the day, in this life, in this moment, you are a human. And you are not immune from greed, from getting power hungry, from hoarding material wealth. So yeah, always, I think, always have that mind frame, that energy, that aura of sharing, illuminating, and the second we start hoarding, the second we start doing this, everything's blocked off. Everything's blocked off. So now we don't get any more either. And not that that's the point of it, but that is the result, right? So that's a big reminder to not sit on your wealth, whether that's material, whether that's spiritual, whether that's psychological. Share. The more we talk about things, the more we share with our collectives, the brighter everything is for everyone, including yourself. So with that, I got deeper and darker than I thought it will. No, I knew what I was doing when I pulled this deck. Oh, beautiful cup, beautiful cup. And with that, as I have been ending these sessions, I would like to pull a single divination card from our Rumi poet. This is a poet I have always felt very deeply connected to. And their poetry always has something really beautiful to take away. So shuffle, shuffle, shake, shake, shake. Let's see, Rumi, what guidance do you have for us for the rest of this week? Until next week. Oh, I think this one. Close the door of words and open the window of the heart. Close the door of words and open the window of the heart. Do with that what you will. Thank you for joining me for another Tea and Tarot Tuesday. I will see you again next week at 2 p.m. As always, I will be sharing this live on our Instagram page. I will also be sharing it on YouTube. So it's super accessible for anyone you would like to share it with. I'd love to hear your takeaways from these sessions. And yeah, I'll see you next week.